The Clark International Speedway. This is the place where some of the superbikes in the Philippines gets pushed to the limit. But today we're doing something a little different because I don't have a sport bike with me. In fact, the bike that we have today is one of the heaviest, one of the biggest, and one of the tallest available in the Philippine market. It's the 2021 BMW R 1250 GS. It's time to go beyond the ride. Are we really taking this out on the racetrack? It's been 40 years since the original R80 GS was introduced in 1980. Since then, the GS has been the barometer, the benchmark, the endgame bike for many people. And it's been featured time and time again on TV and documentaries. It's been called a Tito bike, a bike for old people, for posers, for wannabe politicians. But that just tells me that the bike is good, because anytime you got haters, that kind of means that you've got their attention. And it does beg for attention. I mean, look at the size. It's massive. I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen videos of this bike going off-road, on the expressway, going around the world, long way around. So we wanted to do something a little bit different and bring it to the racetrack. But in order to do it right, we had to bring in somebody special, a certified BMW Motorrad Coach. All right, this is Coach Toto Villanueva. Coach, you are a certified BMW Motorrad Coach. First of all, how did you go about doing that?
Actually, I've been riding BMW for certain years now, and I'm lucky enough to be asked by BMW Philippines if I wanted to have a certification for being a BMW certified instructor.
Okay, so you were able to get that certification
In Germany.
in Germany. So you are legit.
Yes. So I was lucky enough to send by BMW to Germany.
Yeah.
And have that certification there for about 1 week of rigorous training and a lot of study about the BMW product.
Is the GS to you the ultimate bike, the best bike that you can buy?
Actually, that's a tough question.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But personally, if I would go to a long travel, I would choose the BMW. It's not because it's a BMW, but you would also consider the safety and the comfort of your bike.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one thing that I would like to have when I'm traveling, maybe abroad or maybe locally.
Yeah. You know, I honestly, before I started riding the GS, before I actually picked up the bike, every time I see it, I think to myself, and it's legit, I think to myself, it's so ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like the way it looks. It's excessive. You don't really need everything that this bike offers. And then I rode it. Within 5 minutes, I started thinking, wait a minute, this is actually kind of pleasant. In fact, when I pulled out of the showroom, when I picked up this test unit, I went straight to Tagaytay.
Correct. Yes.
I can't believe it. I mean, I've been really impressed with this bike. But we are on the racetrack, a place where you don't normally see the GS. Honestly, I mean, I've been on this track before. I'm quite familiar with it, but never on this bike. So I'm gonna need you to guide me on the track. But what can I expect being out on the track with this GS 1250?
Maybe with this adventure bike on the racetrack, you would expect to have the stability of the bike. Okay, and if you're hard riding, you would expect to have the electronics working for you. Okay?
And that's a lot of electronics.
That's a lot of electronics to make this bike very stable on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's not built for the track.
It's not really built for the track. It has only it also have the limitations.
Yeah.
But with us riding, that limitations is so far.
So we can't like shoulder drag. We can't knee drag.
We cannot. It's because of our tires. So
Okay.
that's what I'm telling you about the limitation.
Yeah.
But you can still lean in
Yeah.
with unbelievable lean angle.
It's kind of okay. Another thing I was impressed with taking this on the twisties in Marilake. I was super impressed on how it handled the twisties.
Yes.
It was so easy. In fact, it was almost too easy. Why is that?
It is because of the engine.
Yeah.
Engine balance. The engine is the balance is the center of gravity is so low
Yeah.
that you can drive it easily on the corners.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the suspension is really good too. So
Yes.
you don't feel the bike.
You don't have the bike dipping in.
Yeah,
It's
dipping
because
in.
the suspension, we have a very unique suspension we call the telelever.
Yeah.
So that makes it no more dipping down.
So if you can see here, you see the forks, and then inside there you see another.
Inside there is a, they
Yeah.
call it the shock absorber.
Yeah.
It's not the regular front fork
Yeah.
that you have the left and right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, there's a arm, and then there's a suspension
Yeah.
that carries in.
Yeah.
So that is making the bike stable. It's because of that telelever.
And it seems like the bike, when you hard
Yes,
stop,
when you hard
it
stop,
kind of it kind of gets longer.
The wheelbase gets long.
Yeah.
Okay. So it makes you more stable.
It really is.
And then if you go hard riding,
Yeah.
go short,
It goes shorter.
so make it nimble also.
So I mean, the bike really, if you're not a great rider, you ride on this bike, you feel like magaling ka.
You feel magaling. Kaya nga, it's because the technology of the bike is so good now that you don't feel that hardness of riding a bike.
Yeah.
So a lot of people now are very easy to ride.
Yeah.
It's because of the electronics and the design of the bike.
The bike is powered by a 1,254cc dual overhead cam boxer twin engine that punches out 125 horsepower and 143 newton-meters of torque. You've got dual disc brakes at the front and a single disc at the back. The front wheel is a size 19, 120 by 70, and the rear is a size 17, 170 by 60. Keeping bumps at bay, you got a telelever fork up front and a single swing arm at the back. Of course, since it's a BMW, you've got the drive shaft as well, for no chain maintenance. It's got a fuel tank capacity of 20 liters, and you can get about 19 kilometers per liter. The curb weight is 268 kilograms, and the ground clearance is 185 millimeters. All right, so we're gonna head out on the track, follow the leader with Coach Toto, and we're gonna remain in contact in this exercise through the cardio device. As you can see, there's the Pack Talk Slim, and he's got the Bold in his. And Coach, this is gonna be just the standard setup. So it is pretty much what you would use out on the road, and we're actually gonna be taking it on the track just to see how much we can push the bike. And then maybe later on we can try and push the bikes a little bit more and go at a quicker pace.
Yes.
Wish me luck.
I'm gonna ask you,
Yeah.
how was it on your first track, the track day on a GS?
It's different, no? So again, I've been on the track before. It's mostly on cars, but even on smaller sport bikes. And in the smaller sport bikes, you can feel like you can lean, right? You can feel like I guess there's more confidence that you can lean. On this bike, because I know where the engine is, it's so wide, I keep on thinking that I'm gonna scrape the engine.
Okay. Tip over.
Or tip over, but it's not tipping over.
Okay. So you try to tend to notice the stability
Yeah.
on the track.
Yeah.
So when you go out on the real world, on the road, it's more safer and
Yeah.
you feel that confidence.
Yeah. When you flick the bike from one side to the other in the chicane, I'm really impressed in how the bike handles. I could never have imagined a bike this big, this wide, this heavy, to be able to maneuver like that.
Yes. Because remember, this bike is not really born on the track.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be out there.
Yes.
It was meant for on the freeway, off the beaten travel
the
long.
off-road,
Not for that.
not really for the track.
Yeah.
But at least you have experienced how it handles and the power delivery, how smooth it is.
Yeah.
And then how flickable the bike is.
Yeah.
So it makes you handle the bike easier for you.
Okay, so in the next session, I'm gonna try and push a little bit faster, and then you have to keep up.
Okay. We'll try. We'll try.
GS actually stands for Gelande or Helande or Geland, whatever. Basta in English, it's terrain sport. So we'll be taking the bikes to someplace a little bit more familiar. Now the ergonomics is super ideal, pretty much standard for any adventure bike. Upright and a position you can be on for many, many hours. Now I'm 5'6" and I always thought that the GS would be too tall for me. But with the low suspension and the rally seat, it's lower than my personal bike. It's super manageable. A normal seat height is 889 millimeters with a ground clearance of 185 millimeters. This unit I'm using has a seat height of 840 millimeters. Again, at 5'6", it's just right. It's not bad at all. I had this bike for a few weeks and I really did put on the kilometers. I went to Tagaytay a couple of times and Lipa to get used to the bike a little bit. And I took it to Marilake one morning and it was so much fun on the twisties. Never would I have thought something this big would be fun on the twisties. It doesn't make sense, but it really, really was so much fun. But of course, the GS begged to be taken for a long ride. So I took it to La Union. I got to really open her up on the expressway, and let's just say I never would have imagined the fastest I would go on a motorcycle would be on a GS. That's until I went to the track today, of course. This bike is super comfortable and I didn't feel the distance at all. The wind protection is good, the seat and suspension feel great. It's really like you're on a lazy boy on two wheels. It's the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden, hands down. And to think, this is the rally seat. The normal seat would be even more comfortable. Now I got to test the different modes, the different suspension settings, the cruise control, everything. It was such a gorgeous ride to LU. Going to La Union from Makati, which is about 250 kilometers, I filled up once. And when we got to LU, I still had enough fuel to go around the place. The others had to fill up twice. It's super matipid sa gas. So that means we got about 19 kilometers per liter with a lot of highway, some city, and lots of fun. We also went to the Great Wall of Santol in the rain. Probably wasn't the best idea to go up on such a steep road, but on this bike, I was so confident it wouldn't be a problem. And the view up there was so worth it. Absolutely breathtaking. Overtaking on provincial roads was also such a breeze on this GS. Honestly, Of everything I tested this bike on, maybe the one thing that was super surprised at the most was how it handled in the city. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but it turned out to be okay. I could get by some traffic, even filter to a certain extent. I don't think it would ever be my daily ride, but honestly, it's really not so bad in city traffic. I'm just really impressed by the GS, man. I'm really impressed by it. I totally get it. I understand.
Wait, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Always a great riding experience with you. Now, I totally understand it, why this BMW GS is such a big deal. I've had the bike for a little over 2 weeks and I've put in a lot of mileage. And I get why it is considered the barometer, the benchmark, the bike that people consider the best in the world. Or maybe I've just reached that age group. Regardless of the reason, I wish every rider out there gets a chance to experience the bike. The performance, the comfort, the tech, the safety features, it's really that good. Unfortunately, it's not for everyone. You see, BMW needed to spend a lot of money to make this bike this good. It ain't cheap. And when I say ain't cheap, I'm talking 1,585,000 Philippine pesos. For that price, it better be the best damn bike. And guess what? For me, it's the best damn bike. At least for now. For more information about this bike and other MCs out there, log on to www.motodeal.com.ph. This has been Jinno Rufino. Hope you guys enjoyed going beyond your ride.